All right, everybody, welcome to a special edition of the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons, and we are excited to have you guys back with us here on the air. We have moved to the bistro. We moved away from the lockdown living room into the bistro because this is a limited time special edition pop-up version of the Real Talk Sports Show. We're talking bracketology. The queen herself is in the building. We're going to bring her on the screen right now. Tree Goldman in the building.
Hello.
How are you? So, bracketology, and more bracketology. I know this is your time of year. You've been waiting for this, waiting.
Yes, I love March Madness. Oh my goodness. This is some of the best basketball that you will ever see. And so I'm really looking forward to it. And when they announce the teams with bracketology, it's just furthering my excitement. Looking forward to the tournament play to begin.
Okay, I know you're excited. This is your time. This is your, kind of your season to be right in the middle of it. And I know, there's just so much great basketball because I think what it is the compelling stories. You have like legendary teams, you have Cinderella teams. For you, what's kind of the biggest thing that draws you besides the outstanding basketball, obviously?
Well, for me, anybody who knows me knows how much I love the Big Ten. And I'm just so excited that this year the Big Ten has the best conference. And even with the Big Ten tournament, we were the first conference ever to have all of the four teams that went to the Final Four were ranked in the AP top 10. And so that just speaks volumes for the actual talent that is coming out of the Big Ten this year. And so it was really nice to see that the Big Ten had the most seeds out of any conference in the tournament. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Big Ten will do against other competition.
Well, we know right off the bat, speaking of the Big Ten, we know the number one seed. One of the number one seeds is the Fighting Illini, a team that hasn't been ranked this high in the NCAAs in many years. So the folks wearing the orange and I think dark blue are very, very excited as the Illini shook up the world, getting past your Michiganders and then knocking off the Ohio State Buckeyes in the finals of the Big Ten Championship. So, yeah, you guys are representing all the way across the board.
Definitely our Big Ten is representing. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, now we're going to talk more men, obviously, but did you get a chance to peek at the women's bracket? And if so, do you have some favorites already that you'd like to kind of at least mention?
Definitely South Carolina. I think they're a great program, but I really honestly have been looking at the men. But I do need to look more. I also am excited that my alma mater, Middle Tennessee, is also going dancing this year. And of course, I'm excited for Georgia Tech women that they're going dancing.
Well, of course,
to seeing what South Carolina will do.
Of course, I would expect nothing less than a woman to look at the men a little bit. Just joking, of course. But yeah, so no doubt the women are going to put on a show as they always do. South Carolina, Dawn Staley continues to just be a force. She's now one of the top coaches in the NCAA. And many, many top recruits now are flocking to her school just like they did to UConn, 10, 15, 20 years ago. So definitely they're going to be a tough out. And speaking of UConn back where they're supposed to be, a number one seed, looking to regain the titles that they have lost. I think UConn's been away from winning the championship now for 2 years. So I know that Coach Gino Auriemma has got the Lady Huskies chomping at the bit.
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people are excited to see UConn back. They're also a great program. Some programs are just really phenomenal because the things that they're teaching, it just displays in the work that they put in on the court, how they hustle hard, how even when you're playing a team that's not really ranked hard, you still are giving 110%. I know when I was in high school, but my basketball coach has the best conference. Oh, I thought you said something. What my coach did whenever we played a team, because we were ranked number one, of course, and whenever we played a team that was not ranked high or they were like really low, and so we're thinking, oh, this is going to be easy, and he made sure that we worked hard. So he would give us, like, literally right before game time, he would tell us when we're about to go out and tip, he would say, well, if this team scores more than 50 points, you guys are running a suicide for every point over 50 that they score. So what did that do to us? And really, it wasn't 50. He really would make it something like 25 points or something like that. And so what did that do for us? It made us really go out there. And we were like, they're not scoring 25 points. So it made us go out there and play even harder. And he made sure that we did not take that team for granted like we thought we were going to do before he gave us the goal to attain. And so that's how he kept us on our toes to make sure that every single game that we played, that we went out there and we played our best and we still put up the best defense that we could. Because again, defense is what wins championships. And UConn is one of those programs where you see things like that happening because he instills greatness in his players. And also South Carolina is another great program. Tennessee was, when Pat Summitt was the coach there. Those are great programs that have the greatness because they instill the greatness in the players, and it's all in how you play the game. Every single minute on the court, you are giving 110%, and we all know that you rest on offense, not on defense.
Well, there's no doubt all those teams you mentioned are back in the big dance. Of course, Tennessee, once again, in the NCAA tournament, along with all the top women's teams, Notre Dame, Baylor, South Carolina, obviously, UConn, Stanford, they're all there. So once again, the women are going to be big-time ballers. But enough of that. Let's get back to the men's game. Do you have your bracket done yet?
I do. They allow you to do 3 brackets. So I did 3 brackets, and we will see how I do this year.
All right. Well, I got to tell you, I have done no brackets.
Oh, really? I was
And yeah,
just about to ask you.
I always get down to this. It's always like literally like right before the cutoff where you have to kind of get the brackets in or bust. That's where I'm at right now. I'm just scrambling around trying to get it in. And hopefully by the end of this evening, I will have it because tomorrow is in fact the deadline. So it's either fish or cut bait for young Mr. Simmons. So hopefully I'll have it ready to rock and roll. Now, in your brackets for men, any teams that you kind of got right off the bat as your favorites? We already know about the Big Ten, so you can go ahead and mention them. But outside of the Big Ten, any other teams that you kind of like that you said they might be able to be a dark horse and take this thing?
Well, I know you always say the Big Ten, yes, because I believe it or not, I do have the Big Ten going really far in the tournament just because this year the conference was the toughest conference. And so even if there was a team that was ranked higher from another conference, I still had Big Ten winning just because of the competition that they played. And I'm also looking at Oklahoma State. I think that Oklahoma State will surprise some people. Florida, I think they're looking good. Georgetown, I like how they're finishing their season. So I actually have them doing some big things depending on who wins against Michigan State. But I do really like Oklahoma State. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Cunningham plays and how he can get his team to go around him and what they can do in the tournament.
Yeah, so you're going to have, I think the big challenge also is going to be is who stays COVID free because, right off the bat, you look at some of the blue chip teams like Kansas, for example. Kansas is playing, I think, Eastern Washington, and I look for them to possibly upset them because they have their top 3 rebounders might not play in that game. So it's going to be very, very difficult when you lose 2 or 3 starters and you're playing a number 10 ranked team. Yeah, so I think Kansas is one of those blue chippers that may be in some trouble.
Yeah, with COVID going on this year, that's another thing that I was trying to think about because at any moment you could have teams where they're not able to play or their star players are out because they may or may not have tested positive for COVID. So that's also another concern that I have. And even with Michigan, who at first I had them winning the whole tournament, but then when their player went down and has the ankle injury, it's just like, okay, do I think they'll still be able to win it all? I don't know. I did pick them to win it all in one of my brackets because I still believe in them and I still believe that the other players can step up, but we will see. But it definitely will be an interesting tournament this year with everything that's going on with COVID and the COVID protocols. But I do also think that because teams have seen how some teams, when Kansas had to step out of their tournament because of COVID, so I really think that the players are pushing aside, regardless of who wants to see them, whether it's family members, teammates that aren't on their team or other teams or friends. And I do think that people are quarantining to make sure that they do not test positive for COVID, because everybody wants to play in a tournament. When you are in the weight room, when you're practicing on those tough practice days, which should be every day, that's what keeps you going, is getting to the championship. And this is the championship tournament. So this is why everybody is playing. And so I think that people will actually quarantine and stay away from people to make sure that they do not test positive so that they can continue and play in the tournament.
Yeah, so I think everybody. I think the other thing too is going to help. Even though we still had some problems in the NBA, is the idea of playing in a bubble, that all the games are going to be held in Indianapolis. Now, my understanding is that I think a couple of games are not going to be played necessarily in the same arena, because obviously they got the games stacked up. Some of them win an hour of one another, so they're going to be spread out. But basically, everything is going to be happening in the city of Indianapolis. All the guys are sequestered in their various hotels. So yeah, I mean, I think that anybody that gets caught out with COVID this time, they kind of being kind of dumb and really being kind of selfish to their teammates. You know what I mean? Because like you said, this is what you play for. This is what you work so hard for during the off season. This is all the drills, all the gassers, all that stuff that you have to do to get yourself ready for Division I, big time championship basketball. You don't want to see anybody squander it because they got to meet up with their girlfriend or they got to get that family member or whatever. So, yeah, I think that everybody's pretty much going to be very, very safe. So it should be a very, very interesting tournament. You talked about the Big Ten. Obviously, we know that they have 9 teams in. So, obviously, if you got your pool, folks, I might have a good shot if you pick a team from the Big Ten. But outside of those teams, who do you think might be a legitimate contender to, take the whole shebang?
Gonzaga.
Well, of course, they're the number 1 overall seed. Who wouldn't want to talk to them and look at them? Yeah, Gonzaga, I mean, every single year, amazing how these guys as a mid-major, find themselves to be one of the top 5 teams year in and year out. What they've done with that program has been phenomenal. And they really kind of make you harken back, I think, to like some of the old style of college basketball where if you look at their teams, a lot of times they're laden with juniors and seniors, guys that may not be top 10 NBA picks, but together as a team, make an outstanding college team.
Oh, yeah. And that's what it's about. It's all about playing together, playing team basketball, because that's the only way that you can win. And that's the only way that you can make it far in this tournament. You have to be able to pass the ball. You have to see the open man when you're getting double team or triple team, pass that ball out so somebody can have an open shot, because if there's 2 or 3 players on you, obviously somebody else is open. So it does take great team basketball being played. And again, defense.
Yeah, that's your motto. Your thing is defense, defense, and more defense. Well, look, we're gonna take a quick little break here in the Azione. I'm looking at my time clock here. What time do I have my time right? I can take a quick little break because my eyes. I have to find my shades. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a minute with more of the Real Talk Sports Show Bracketology Special Edition, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Seriously, hang tight. Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions, or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net. That's right, guys. You can give us a call. You can give me a call, 678-410-9833. I myself am an employee of Allen Vigil Ford and Lincoln. So please, you can give me a call. I'll put my number up on the screen. I always have to give myself a shameless plug if you don't mind. You can call me 678-410-9833. That's how you can reach me. And I'll be more than happy to help you, your family, or your business with your next new or pre-owned vehicle. So again, check me out, 678-410-9833. And we will have you riding very, very nicely. There's a number right there. There you go. Well, yeah, so Gonzaga obviously is a great team to pick. Anybody else that kind of under the radar that you think might kind of slip in there and maybe take home the national title?
No.
She said, "That's it, boys." All right. So now, how are we
What
going to
about
be able
you?
to?
Do you think anybody underrated will come and sneak in and take the title?
No, because because the way the season is kind of panned out, it's going to be very, very difficult because of COVID, because of most of these teams. When you look around the bracket, I realize a lot of these teams have only played 18 games, 17 games, 20 games. Where normally by this time of season, almost every team has played at least 20, 25 games. So I'm not sure that's all going to work out. I think it's going to be making it a little bit more difficult for a non top 20 team to pull this thing out. But it's all going to be COVID related. You get one team, a high ranking team, lose a single player, even a key sub, that will change the whole dynamic of that team. So yeah, it's just going to be very interesting. It's going to be must see TV no matter how you slice and dice it. I do have to give a shout out though to the folks from the 404. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, guys. I'll try to get my camera down lower, but I'm sporting an official Hawk jacket,
Ah,
baby. We're going to represent the Yellow Jackets as they do it here in the 404. There it is, folks. You can see it right there. Let me get a little close up there so you guys can see it a little better here. I'm wearing my official coach's golf shirt. Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in the house. Yeah, so do I think the Jackets can win the national title? Obviously not. I do think they can, get to the second round. And if things were to go just right for them, they could, in fact, knock off a Big Ten Illinois team if Illinois gets into the second round. Jackets do have the ACC Player of the Year, Moses Wright. And look at that face. Look at that face. I don't know, the whole time I'm talking, I think over there. Come on, man.
well, you had me when you said they can make it to the second round. I actually do have them making it to the second round. But after that, they will be losing to the Big Ten. Notice I said it here.
Anything can happen. And like
Anything
I said, the Jackets.
can happen. That is true. We do know that every year there are always big upsets.
Right.
I will never forget when my alma mater, Middle Tennessee, upset Michigan State.
Come on, tell the story.
Who was ranked number 2, and we upset them, and everybody was shocked. Everybody's brackets were busted except for mine, because I did pick Middle Tennessee to win, and not because they were my alma mater, but because that year I knew that that team could beat Michigan State. And they came out and they played awesome basketball, and they won, and they earned it. And they did not win because Michigan State played bad. They won because they played great, and they played great defense, and they were making great shots. And so we do know that, yes, that can happen every year. Do I think that Georgia Tech will do that against Illinois or one of the teams from the Big Ten? No. That's just my opinion.
Well, like I said again, they are not. This is not a Georgia Tech team that kind of slid in there. They are, in fact, the ACC champions. Like I said, they do have ACC Player of the Year, and I think Jose Alvarado, I think, was also Defensive Player of the Year as well. So they do have a very, very good team, and Coach Josh Pastner really has got those guys playing. Which he said, give me 4 or 5 years with my recruits, and I can make an impact here on this team.
That is true. They do have a great team, and they have great players.
Yep, no doubt. We're going to make a little technical adjustment here. And also, okay, in the Big Ten, give us a little bit of pecking order, because a lot of people watching this, they're big on the SEC, big on the ACC. Kind of give us the top 3 or 4 teams in the Big Ten that pretty much would be the favorite for the NCAA tournament championship.
The top 3 teams in the Big Ten would be Illinois, Ohio State, and Michigan. Yes. So Michigan still a number 1 seed, even with the injuries. Ohio State playing great. Illinois, let's talk about Illinois. Illinois, I think a lot of people may or may not sleep on Illinois, even though they are a number 1 seed in the tournament. But they are really a great team, and I actually have them winning the entire tournament in one of my brackets. So
right,
as I stated earlier, Big Ten is. I just feel like it's a year for the Big Ten to win it all. We'll see.
Well, the realities are, is they have, I mean, like you said, when you have, 9 teams ranked in the top 20, I mean, so the odds are stacked in their favor that they should be able to, you know, have multiple teams go. Is we've had years where we've had multiple Big Ten teams get to the Final Four. We've had you with other conferences. ACC has done it. The Big
Mhm.
East did it back in my day. They actually had 3 teams in the Final Four. So when you have this many dominant teams in the conference, there's no question that you could have a situation where literally you could even have a square off. I think we had this many years ago where you had 2 Big Ten teams square off for the national title.
Hey, and you know I love when that happens, right?
I already know.
Go, go Big Ten.
I already know. All right. Now I know, like you say again, you've done a couple of different brackets. So tell people if you can, if you got your brackets handy, who you've picked to get to the Final Four in, like say, bracket number 1. Who's your 4 teams? Who you got?
Let me see if I can pull up. I know for a fact that in bracket number 1, I have Illinois, I have Gonzaga, Michigan, and I believe I had Illinois going against Ohio State. Let me pull up my bracket. But yeah, I think that was my first bracket.
All right. I like that. I like that bracket. So you're predicting multiple Big Ten teams to get to the Final Four.
Yes.
And that's a great possibility. It really gets down to, as you know, at all these tournaments, it's all about the draw. You know, it's all about how your draw sets up. Sometimes you got the perfect storm where everything lines up. We end up playing against teams that, you know, you match up well against. Because that's the other thing, too, in all these tournaments, when you're talking bracketology, you're looking at matchups, you know, because matchups make great games. They make great fights. The other thing, too, is can a dominant player or can a smaller school with an outstanding player, can that player get hot and carry his team? Like I mentioned, you saw it a few years back with Davidson, you know, a mid-major roll on, be kind of red hot Steph Curry. I mean, the guy just was unstoppable. Can you get that kind of play? And that's the other thing is going to be who's going to be the hot player in this NCAA tournament.
So true.
So I think that's really kind of the key. We're excited about everybody that's kind of been watching our program and joined in on us. We're going to, like I said, we have planned to make this a relatively brief pop-up. Just got to let people know about your bracket. Now, how can people see your bracket? I mean, you going to post it somewhere? Because we're just taking your word for it.
Listen, my bracket, first of all, I'm in a group that I have won before. And yes, I will post my bracket. So I'm actually pulling it up right now. I will definitely post all 3 of my brackets, and I will actually send the updates of my brackets because there is no shame in my game. Oh no. So my first bracket, I had Gonzaga playing Alabama and Ohio State playing Illinois.
Okay. All right. Yeah. See, I'm just checking. I see you. I noticed as soon as I mentioned about, hey, where we gonna see your bracket? I mean, you got real close to the camera. I'm not afraid.
I'm looking at my bracket. And in my second bracket, I have Ohio versus Michigan and Ohio State versus Illinois.
Okay.
And in my last bracket, I have Gonzaga against Alabama, Ohio State against Illinois. So yes.
SEC champs, I believe. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the tournament is going to be a great one. I think it'll be very, very exciting. I will, in fact, post mine. So don't wig out, guys. Like I said, tonight we just wanted to kind of get the juices flowing and at least talk to you guys a little bit about the idea of, you know, your brackets. And we're going to post it up so you can see both mine and Trees. We'll have maybe a couple of them for each one of us so you guys can take a peek at it. And then we'd like to know what you guys think. You know, certainly we'll leave some room for you guys to post it on our social media page. If you guys are not following us already, please do. You can follow the show anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports. Bam, there it is. It's real easy to see. You got to put it up on the screen. There you go. Anywhere on social media.
I want them to let us know who they're picking to win the whole tournament in their brackets.
That's what I want. I want you guys to chime in. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put this question out there so you guys can see it. And you guys can hopefully comment here. Let's put it right here. Who are your final 4 picks? You guys, we'd love to have you contribute. If I can kind of type while I'm trying to be on here. That's one thing when you're a producer and the host, you try to type and try to watch the screen at the same time. And sometimes that don't go out too good. But yeah, who are your final four picks? Let us know. We'd love to have you comment on social media, or if you guys again want to send something on an email, anything, but definitely on social media. We'd love to have you guys comment on this, and I'm gonna put up on the screen right now. There it is, folks. Who are your final four picks? We got that out there on YouTube. There's a question again for you there on Facebook as well. Who you got? Who your final four picks? Let us know who you have. And I'm going to do something else here. I'm going to actually even set up that you guys can pop in on the show if you wish. I'm going to put the link for the show up here. Let's go ahead and do that. And you guys can come on. Now, if you say, look, I don't want to be seen on camera, no problem. You can operate like Zoom. You can just go ahead and just, put your avatar on, and we will just see your avatar. But we'd love to have you comment and join us. So again, I'll pop that up on social media so you guys can see it. And this is link to be on the show now. And here it is. You're going to see it in just a momento. We're pasting, and bam! It's froze. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. Okay, so you'll see it right here, guys. Here you go. Here's the link to be on the show. There it is right there. Click on that link, and you guys can be on the show. We'd love to have you guys jump in, join in. For those of you guys on Twitch, I know you guys are normally very active. You can join us. Check us out there. There it is for you right there. Just go ahead and copy and paste the link, and you can hop on the show. You can do it through your phone. You can do it through your tablet or through your laptop. We want to know who your picks are for the final four. Let us know who it is. Yeah, so as for me, I'm just going to go out here on I don't say a limb, but yeah, definitely like Illinois to make some noise in the tournament. Gonzaga, I just think Gonzaga's going to take the whole thing, not necessarily because they're the very best team, but I think they want it the most. I think that they're just so hungry, having come close so many times and not gotten it. I just think that they are going to finally cut down the nets. So look for the Gonzaga Zags. That's my pick to win it all, at least on bracket. That's my first bracket. I'll have another pick for you as well, but that's my first bracket pick. Gonzaga to go ahead and take this thing. Like I said, they have been the bridesmaid on so many occasions. I just got to feel that this time they're going to get over the hump.
All
and
right.
they can do what they do.
How far do you think Georgetown will go?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, they have a good team. They kind of remind me a little bit of Georgia Tech in the fact that I don't want to say necessarily a weakened conference, but certainly not as strong as the conference has been in other years. But I do think that with Patrick Ewing at the helm, he's the perfect coach to help these guys make a long run because he's been there, done that. This guy now, 30 plus years ago, he electrified this country 3 years ago in some of the most classic matchups in NCAA history. So he's got a good sensibility of what it takes to win. And I think that he's going to do a good job of getting these guys in. Will they go to the Final Four? That's going to be tough. But I definitely look for them to at least get to the Sweet 16 or even the Elite 8.
Okay.
So I think they'll be making some noise. All right, guys, again, who are your picks for the Final Four? I'm going to pop that question up on the screen again. We'd love to have you guys join in and talk to us here. We're going to go for just a few more minutes here because, like I said, this is just a pop-up show to give you guys a little snippet. We wanted to make sure that we had Tree on record saying that she was going to put her bracket out in the public. And let you guys see it. I want
3 brackets, and all 3 will be posted. They're already done, so I can't change them. I did the ESPN brackets, and I'm looking forward to seeing how I do this year. Like I said, I've won it before. I've placed second before in my group, so we'll see. We'll see what luck. Well, I don't believe in luck. It's all blessings, but we'll see how well I do this year.
Well, it's a lot of fun. I mean, and for those of you, this is, I think, what the big thing that drives this whole bracketology and March Madness is that everybody can get involved. I don't care whether you're man or woman, young or old. I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever your nationality is. I don't even care if you're a basketball fan. It's the fact that everybody can. It's that whole idea of taking a shot. 64 teams. Most of the time, you don't even know half the teams are. I should say 75% of the teams. but because it's that thrill of knowing that you now have something to root for. And so you have people that normally never watch college basketball, they are locked in because of the
Oh
brackets.
yeah. Bracketology is so awesome.
Yep.
And it's just like what you said. A lot of teams get to represent for their schools, for their cities, for their states. And one of my favorite visions that I will always love with bracketology is when, of course, we were not in COVID. And at the CNN building, there was this huge bracket that they had in the center. Have you ever seen that when bracketology was going on? Did you see the huge bracket that they had in the center of the CNN building?
Yep.
I love that. And they updated. It is the largest bracket I've ever seen in life. And I just loved walking past it, looking at it every day when we had our volleyball tournaments. So bracketology is so exciting. And as you said, everybody can participate because you're always going to have Cinderella teams. There's always going to be some type of upset, and it is going to blow your mind because this is when people play basketball, and you'll see some of the best basketball of the season.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, this is what all gets very, very exciting because again, everybody's playing. It's not like what sometimes you see in football where everybody's worried about injury. So you go into the bowl games, and unless it's really the championship playoffs, guys kind of going a lot. But all 64 teams in the back of their mind are thinking if everything could break right for 6 games, all I gotta do is go 6-0. I don't have to win. I don't have to be 25-0. I don't have to be 15-0. All I have to do is find some way to win 6 games in a row. And if I can do that, I'll be the national champion.
Well, one thing that you'll find with most teams, even though, yes, all they have to do is go 6-0 from that point on, but the teams who look ahead are typically the ones who lose. And the biggest thing with bracketology is that it's win or go home.
Right.
Period. Simple. Win or go home. So if you don't win this game right here in front of you, there's no need to look any further because you're going home. And that's what is so great about this is because every game goes down to the wire. That's why you have so many games that go into overtime. That's why you have so many buzzer beaters that just make the entire arena roar, is because it's win or go home. And you have players who have been putting in time in the weight room, putting in time in the gym, and this is where they get to shine.
No doubt. I mean, so we're all looking forward to it. We can't wait to see it. I know I'm pumped up again, guys. If you want to tell us who your picks are, please. We got about 5 more minutes to go in this special pop-up show. Let us know who are your final 4 picks, who you got. Let us know right here on the Real Talk Sports Show. And let me go ahead and post up the link so you guys will have that as well. If you guys want to come on the show and tell us right now who your picks are, I'll post it up right here for you so you can see it. And again, just click on the link and you'll be able to join us here on the broadcast. You can go full video or audio only. Here's the link right there. Just copy it, paste it onto your phone or your tablet, and let us know who your final 4 picks are, and we'll have you on the air. Like I said to you, I know right now for me, it's just kind of hanging in there until Friday because that's when it's all going to hit the fan. It's Friday. I mean, you got games all day and all night.
All day and all night, and I cannot wait. I am looking forward to it, especially to see Michigan play, Illinois, Ohio State. I can go on and on with my Big Ten teams. I want to see how Iowa does, just everybody. I am really excited about the Big Ten. I'm so excited about what we've done this year as a conference, and I'm really excited to see what we can do for the big dance. And of course, one of my friend's sons is playing on Clemson's team. So I'm looking forward to see how Chase Hunter is playing and how he does with Clemson and what they can do. I'm looking forward to seeing Georgia Tech and what they will accomplish this year. I'm looking forward to see Oklahoma State and what Cunningham is going to do. I mean, my goodness, they're saying that he's projected to be the #1 draft pick. And we know that my Pistons are in last place. So I'm looking forward to see him because I feel like he'll probably be joining my Detroit Pistons in the future. And so I'm just really excited just to see what all of these wonderful teams have done and what they will do because they've worked so hard. And this has been the toughest year ever. So I feel like whichever team wins, they're not only winning a championship, but they are really showing how they have pushed through, because this has been the toughest season for any college athlete to ever go through. And the fact that we are even having a tournament speaks volumes.
Yeah, no doubt. And they wanted to make this happen for a couple of reasons, obviously, that are outside of basketball. Certainly, NCAA tournament, and because it is college, even though they make a lot of money, this is one of their primary fundraisers for all the schools to make money, keep the programs going. So very important for that. Contractual obligations with TV, and more importantly, to kind of move the country forward. Because again, we just talked about it is something that so many people across the country get involved in. So to take people's mind off the pandemic and kind of hopefully move us forward to look again when we can really enjoy athletics together up close. I think this tournament helps do it as well, because I can tell you again, guys, I'm not endorsing this. Please be safe, practice social distancing, but you also know that people are going to be out at the sports bars. They're going to be mingling together. So please wear your mask and try to stay 6 feet apart as best you can. Please behave.
Yeah.
Well, listen, how can people find out more about you as we wrap up here our special bracketology broadcast? Let people know the floor is yours.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at It's Latresa. That's ITSLATRESA.
There it is right there, guys. It's Latresa. There it is. You can find her, Tree Dolman. Everything you need to know about what she got going on, you can find it right there. Of course, guys, you can follow me personally at Minister J Sim. You can check me out there. We always try to do some inspirational posts. And Tree does the same thing. A lot of great inspiration for you. And of course, please follow the show anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports 7. We have a YouTube page, and I want to thank all those of you who, in the last couple of months, have joined us as subscribers on YouTube. Thank you. Those of you who replay our broadcast on Periscope, which is now going to be, I guess officially is now Twitter TV, or will be March the 31st. I'm sorry. Thank you as well. And of course, all you people on Facebook, you guys have been with us there for the beginning, so we thank you. And again, you can go to our YouTube channel. That's it right there. Cut and paste, subscribe, hit the bell so to notify you when we're going on the air. All right, guys, we had a great time with you. A little special pop-up broadcast. Remember, we're on every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. here, same time, same channel. Check us out. Until the next time, God bless you. And we're out of here.
Bye.